Good day, everyone. My name is Christian, but you can call me Mr. Tantan. So, I will be your English teacher for today's lesson. So, today we are going to tackle modals and their meaning. I know this doesn't sound so interesting since the term used, modal, is not familiar with you guys, but as we go on, you will realize that we use these words very often. So, what exactly is a modal? In English grammar, a modal is a verb that combines with another verb to indicate mood or tense. A modal, also known as a modal auxiliary or modal verb, expresses a necessity, uncertainty, possibility, or permission. Modals are words that we use every day, and so we must know how to properly use them for us to be able to express the meaning we are trying to communicate. Modals can be quite tricky since we often think that some of these are interchangeable. Today, we are going to understand modals and their meaning. So, the first model that we are going to discuss is the modal must. According to the internet, its first meaning is be obliged to, should. It expresses a necessity. Number two, expressing an opinion about something that is logically very likely. So for number one, as you can see, I highlighted the word oblige. For sometimes, must is used to indicate a rule or law. Or sometimes, it just can be a necessity for a specific reason. Number two, I highlighted the word opinion because must can also function to express an opinion or things that are likely to happen. For example, number one, you must present your ID upon entering the school premises. Number two, my mom must be asleep right now. She's been doing all the chores lately. So the second modal that we are going to discuss is the modal can. According to the internet, its first definition is be able to, or the ability that we have to perform daily tasks or the skills that are innate in us. Number two, be permitted to or to ask permission. And for number three, it expresses possibility. For example, number one, I can sing and dance for the event's intermission number. As you can see, the word can here expresses that the subject is able to sing and dance for the event's intermission number. And for number two, you can now go to the library. As you can see, the modal can here is permitting the subject to go now to the library. And for number three, smoking can lead to different diseases. The word can here indicates that there is a possibility that smoking might or can lead to different diseases. So the third modal that we are going to discuss is the modal could. It is the past tense of can. Number one, it is used to indicate a possibility. However, could is only used if it is less likely to happen. Number two, use in making polite requests. And for number three, ability in the past. These are the skills that we have once in our childhood, for example, or before an accident happened. For example, number one, earthquake could hit any moment. So the could here functions to indicate that earthquake can less likely to happen any moment right now. Number two, could you hand me the pen in your desk? As we can observe, could expresses polite requests to the object that the subject is speaking to. Number three, it is ability in the past. When I was younger, I could play basketball for hours. For the fourth modal, it is the word may. It is a verb that expresses possibility that is most likely to happen. Number two, it expresses permission. For example, I may go to the church this Sunday. As we can observe, going to churches usually happens during Sundays, and may functions here that the subject has a high possibility in going to church this Sunday. And for number two, may I go to the bathroom? For the fifth modal, it is sometimes thought to be interchangeable with may, and it is the word might. So these two modals, may and might, have their own distinct functions. May is only used if the action being done is most likely to happen. On the other side, might is only used if the scenario is less likely to happen. For example, it might rain later. Number two, she might have contacted our teacher, but there is no signal in their province. The last modal is the word should. It is, as I observe, we often use this modal. Number one, it is a 50% obligation. Number two, it is an advice. And number three, it can function as a conclusion. For example, you should visit your doctor to make sure you are okay. As we can see, this functions to be 50% obligation and also an advice. For should here functions to indicate that you, as the subject, should visit your doctor to make sure that you are okay. Number two, it is also an advice and a 50% obligation since the subject is only can only decide for his or herself. Number two, you should go hang out with your friends because you've been lonely these days. It is an advice to make sure that she has someone to talk to, or it is an obligation that the subject might or might not go hang out with his or her friends. Number three, it is a conclusion. She should be very tired right now. She did all her requirements earlier. As we can see, the speaker here concluded that she is tired right now. And that's for all. Thank you.